My name is Debbie Olen, and I actually have taught iPhone basics to a group of seniors. This is now my 12th year. So today I agreed to do a select group of topics on the iPhone. So hopefully everyone here has an iPhone or an iPad. So I would like to tell you that an iPad is the same as an iPhone, except you probably will not be able to call out on it. But all the operation and functions are going to be the very same. We decided that some of the basics might be the fact that it's important to turn your phone off at times. It's important for your phone because it gives a nice reset. And it's important for you because sometimes you're asked to actually turn it off or put it in a different mode. So I'm going to assume that there's someone who may have a phone and doesn't understand how to turn it off. And again, each version of these phones that you have has perhaps a different set of buttons or a different single button that you're going to use to turn your phone off. So if we go to page 2, we're going to start with turning our phones off. Without knowing which iPhone you have, and the iPad, if you're using that, is the same. It's a series of 2 buttons. There is going to be a volume button on the left and a power button on the right of your phone. And it's a sequence of those 2. Some phones use the bottom, which would be volume down. Some phones use the volume up. But you press them both and hold them at the same time. Then you should get a pop-up on your phone that shows a slider that says turn off. So let's slide to power off are the exact words. So,
the time you should leave it off?
no, not necessarily, but the screen does have to turn black because it powers down in a sequence and it takes a bit of time. It will not come back on if you immediately hit the on button. So once you see the screen perfectly black with no lighted shading behind, and you press it, then the lighted shading will start coming back and the Apple will come on.
Shouldn't you count like to 10 before you get those?
You can. You can.
Yeah.
Again, I know people in my classes who say they turn their phone off every single day. And we'll talk about charging in a moment. There's no reason to do that, but if you choose to do that, that's fine. Really don't need to recharge your phone unless it is down to about 20%. And it doesn't take hours to charge your phone. You should really stop charging at 80%. And now the newer phones will shut themselves off at 80% charge to save the life of your battery.
If you leave it plugged in all night, is that a bad thing?
There are varying schools of thought. Apple says no need. FPL says probably not, you're drawing a current. You can have a malfunction, so you decide for yourself. The main area we're looking at is called the touch screen, because what do? We touch on an iPhone to make almost everything happen, right? And perhaps an Android too. So we're going to go into the detail on what's in our touch screen. All of what you see is called an app, but let's finish with the ports and places that we actually need. If you look at your phone, you see something on the top of your phone that follows this diagram on page 3, and that is a camera. We have a camera, which we're going to go into, and we have the ability for that camera to face backwards or face forward. Settings, as you see on the PowerPoint, it looks like a gear and it's on your phone. So everyone will want to touch the settings button. Can anyone here tell me what they use their settings for?
Traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. There are many, many, many things you do in settings. Many people have hearing aids you can control with a function in settings, volumes you can set and control, Wi-Fi settings, airplane mode settings, hitting a satellite if you're out and you have no Wi-Fi and no cellular coverage. You can actually, with the newer phones, you can now hit a satellite to make an emergency call. There are lots of things you can do on settings.
What is an airplane setting?
That's when
And- Yeah.
What is the definition of an airplane setting?
Well, it takes your phone off the ability to hit a cell tower or make a call while you're on an airplane. Nowadays, most people probably just pay a flat charge and it gives you all of what you need without additional charges. But if you're in a facility, your room, your entire facility, wherever it is inside, and they have Wi-Fi, you can use Wi-Fi, sign into the Wi-Fi with whatever it is, a guest account or whatever, and just stay on Wi-Fi, and you should always have a constant connection. If you tap on the gear and open it, what are you going to see immediately? You're going to see your name, right? And at the top it says Apple account, iCloud, and more. As we start going down, you're going to see airplane mode. That's a choice you would make if you were on an airplane and they come over the announcement, which is hard to hear, so you probably should just know every time you get on an airplane. If you can't even hear it, you know they're going to ask you to put it on airplane mode. Most cars nowadays are Bluetooth enabled. So if you have your phone set on Bluetooth, it's going to connect with your car and give you some of the same functions. Does anybody use that capability? Yeah. Yes, question?
When I go to my phone and I have the television going and I get the TV directly into my hearing aids, that's what the Bluetooth does for me, is it takes the TV directly into my hearing aids.
There are lots and lots of capabilities now with Bluetooth. Bluetooth does enable your hearing aid. If you had your hearing aids, but you get in a car that's Bluetooth enabled, it can only do one Bluetooth connection at a time. The next thing is battery. If we click and look at our battery health, this is just to demonstrate a couple things about your battery. Mostly you may not want to know or need to know about your battery, other than the top of your phone tells you when the charge is going down. But if you have an older phone and it's not acting its best anymore, you can use this battery function to see if you think that battery is getting worn out and that's the problem with your phone. And if it is, there is the ability to have a new battery put in your phone. So, you may have to decide how it is you want to approach that problem. These are the most often used or changed settings. We would actually tap on General. And under General, you see all these choices. You can change colors, you can change brightness, you can change font size, you can change accessibility if you need it, connect your hearing aids that we talked about. You can assign Bluetooth to certain devices. So there are, just suffice it to say, if you click on any one of these and just go through here, you can see all the different choices that you may have. If I clicked on General and then scroll down to the third section, groupings of sections, there's one that says fonts. I may choose to have a different font. If you click on it, you see your choices. This is how you customize your viewing area, whether it's your iPad or your iPhone. So you can do all of those changes in these choices under General. And it's really too numerous. Each person should make those choices themselves for what your eyes or your glasses, the best color that works for you in viewing, and the best size font and size app icons. Those are choices you get to make. In the next section down, under general, is where you have your sound and haptics. And this is where you get into making certain sounds for certain things. And I'm sorry, I thought, yes. Then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you have some headphone safeties. Headphone choices, headphone safeties. You can assign a maximum value to your hearing aids or your headphones so that it doesn't come on too loud even if you turn your TV on and it's blaring. Your home screen might be multiple pages. If you go right to left, you can see how many different icons you have on there. That is your home screen. I have lots because I've added lots. Many of these come as stock, mandatory. You cannot get rid of them because they're part of the Apple operating system for your phone. But we have, and I'm just going to ask people to tell me different ones they have that they actually use of apps that's on your phone. So we all know that anything on there you're going to touch, right? Because this is your touch screen area from your home screen. So let's all take photos. We all know what a photo icon looks like, right? It looks like a big prism, and it comes on everybody's phone. Did everybody find photo? Just to keep it very simple, we want to talk about the fact that it gave you an app. It's called Photos. If you click on it, you're going to see how you can customize it. You can set up different albums. You can make all the choices you want, and you can edit pictures as long as you want to do it. Figure out how do we get a picture in the photo album, right? So Photos is one where you probably do a lot of personal changes to. You probably tap it as an app and use it a lot. So before we go into Photos, what other apps do we use that have an icon on the front? Does anyone do Amazon? Me too. Does everyone do iMessages or messaging on their phone? So we know that's a little green bubble, and it came and you can't get rid of it. It came on the face of your phone. You probably all use a calendar, which looks like a calendar. How to use it is quite a different thing. And a clock. Those are what's called the apps that come preloaded. You can't get rid of them if you want to. You can make certain changes to them. And then you have lots of apps you can add. But on those basic ads, let's spend our time. We're going to spend our time on two. One's photo and one's messaging. Oh, the other is email. 3, sorry. So let's just go into sending an email, and it will lead us into the Photos app. In your phone function, when a number calls in, if you accept that without knowing who it is, and you decide like they're calling you for the 100th time for a medical care choice, or it's the police athletic league and you're over it, you can tap on that number and it will pull up a menu, and at the bottom of that menu it says block caller. These are the most secure phones you can get, but they're still trying to hack all the time, and they do have vulnerabilities. That's why we do all those updates to the phone. The new one for Apple is, just put it out yesterday, you may get a text or an email, just those two methods, and it says you need to update your authentication information on your phone. Don't do it, because it's a scam.
So ladies and gentlemen, Debbie has volunteered her time to be here today, so we want to give her a warm round of applause. And thank you so much for being here and giving us all the iPhone tips.